Welcome back. This segment of the Sports Source is brought to you by English Mountain Spring Water. It's been voted the best tasting water in the world. It can be delivered to your home or your business in whatever sizes you want and as often as you want. And it comes from just down the road in Dandridge. It's good water. We drink it on the set. Some of us have signed up and get the home delivery. I know I do. English Mountain Spring Water. Visit their website, EnglishMountainH2O.com, to learn more. I wouldn't steer you in the wrong direction. I like it. I think you will too. English Mountain Spring Water. All right. We talked about this last week. Now that we know how Tennessee lost in an upset to FAU, and a team that went on to the Final Four, even though you can turn around and look at it and say, but it should be us in the Final Four. Here's my question. How long, or not how long, will Vol fans forgive this basketball team and eventually come around in a couple months and look back and say, it was fun, the way they have with football? Because everybody, after they lost to South Carolina, there was outrage and anger that you blew a playoff spot, blah, 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 blah. And then 2 months down the road, boy, that was a fun year, everything's good. Will Vol fans forgive this, or is this one different for some reason? Quickly, gentlemen, everybody.
I've changed my mind. I thought they would. Now I don't think they will.
You don't think they will?
The football team had the Orange Bowl as a cleanser.
The palate cleanser. It's exactly where I was going. Okay, good for you.
I saw your notes. Anyway, but no,
a good point worth
the basketball team doesn't get that. It's just done.
I think the style of play and the fact that Tennessee football team was fun to watch versus this team being like watching paint dry to some fans is makes it entirely different. I think this team also having a bad second half compared to Tennessee in football mostly being good throughout the year makes it a different story too. I think totally different teams. I just think this team, the Sweet 16 appearance salvages what could have been a disastrous season, but it doesn't make people think this was a memorable team. I think they'll just think it was an okay season.
I think the fans who are already happy with how things ended up will stay that way, but those who are not won't, because they weren't happy in January. There was a percentage, I don't know what percentage, but there was a percentage in January that even after the Texas win, when Tennessee's top five saying, I don't know if I see it with this team. So they're not going to have the fond memories of the regular season either.
I think a lot of it depends on how many of the seniors come back, because you got like 4 that can. And to me, I've got unfinished business is how I would look at that if I was on that team.
But are you happy or sad if they come back?
Yeah, see, I wonder how many fans out there want all these seniors to come back.
Well, I know certainly you would want Viscovi, correct? I mean,
well, I don't want to get into that, but we don't have time. We got a minute here. Off into another direction.
Well, I mean,
but I don't know that. Okay, so you.
I think a lot of it.
Give me an answer now. You think it only depends on if they come back? Okay, gotcha.
I think a lot of it depends on that.
I think the Rick Barnes repeat offender status hurts the cause. Not having the palate cleanser of the bowl game, because you always look back and see a season through the last game. That's the lens. However, I think the majority of the fan base, 51%, 52%, whatever it is, I think the majority will look at this and say, Sweet 16, you beat Duke, you beat Kansas, you beat Maryland, you beat Texas, you beat #1 Alabama. That's pretty tough to scream and kick over that one. That's a good year. I think the majority will come around to be okay with it. But I've been wrong before. All right. When we come back next week, we'll be talking about basketball spring practice and a lot of other stuff here on the Sports Source. Thanks to all these guys. Thanks to you. And we'll see you right back here next week on the Sports.